from the book of John. Um, I'm going to read from chapter 19, verses 38 through 40. After these things, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Jesus, but a secret one for fear of the Jews, asked Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus, and Pilate granted permission. So he came and took away his body. Nicodemus, who had first come to him by night, also came, bringing a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100 pounds weight. So they took the body of Jesus and bound it in the linen wrappings with the spices, as the burial custom of the Jews. So I hashtag this one courage, because you have two Pharisees here who finally come out in the open to show care and love for the deceased Jesus by providing for Jesus the proper burial that every Jewish person is supposed to receive. And the reason why, to me, that this showed courage is because all the other Pharisees hated and despised Jesus, and was the architects in getting the Jewish people to crucify Christ. But yes, we know that Christ, he went on that cross willingly, and he knew he was going to die already. I mean, it was already part of God's plan. But from an earthly standpoint, all the Pharisees hated Jesus Christ, wanted him dead, and did whatever they had to make sure that he was going to be dead. And all of his disciples, instead of claiming the body to give Jesus the proper burial after his death, ran and hid because they were in fear for their own lives, thinking that the same thing was going to happen to them. So to have two prominent Pharisees, these guys were not like on the lower end of the totem pole of the hierarchy of the Pharisees. They were pretty far up there. To come out and ask Pilate for Christ's body is to give him the proper burial that he deserves, is coming out. They are actually now coming out, because before they would only meet Jesus in secret and talk to him in secret, mostly at night, where their fellow Pharisees and Sadducees wouldn't see what they were doing. So to me, this is a stepping out of their love for Christ. And I kind of want to say a public display, because they had to go to Pilate. They had to ask permission for his body. Unfortunately, I don't know how they took care of the bodies of those who were crucified. I don't know how the Romans disposed of them, but I can only surmise that it was not very dignified at all. Probably just tossed out somewhere in some place that was designated for all those. I mean, like I said, I don't know that part. I don't know that much of the history of how they disposed of those bodies that were the result from crucifixions. But to come out against the very machine that you were a part of, to do something that's so loving and kind as to ensure his burial to be a proper one is something to be said of these two men. And not to mention that the myrrh and the aloes were about 100 pounds in weight. That is a lot of money back then. These were not cheap spices by any means. So, to me, that just took great courage for these two men who were part of the machine, part of the organization that spearheaded Jesus' death, through the will of God, of course, to come out and ask for the body of Christ so that they may give him the proper burial that all Jewish traditions dictate is just a phenomenal display of faith, because they were disciples of Christ in secret, but in the end they were first to act on Christ's behalf. So just found it interesting. Anyways, I love you guys. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.